Guys, the term "you only live once" has pushed millions of families into debt, stress, anxiety, and insecurity. The term "you only live once" has been used as a crutch for millions of families to help justify their irrational behaviors. A gentleman by the name of Johann Wolfgang von Goethe in 1774 wrote a play called Clavigo. In that play, he had a sentence that said, "Man lebt nur einmal," which translates to, "You only live once." The context behind that sentence was to warn his characters against living impulsively because they might regret it later on. Listen, you only live once does not mean you can be ignorant, negligent, or irresponsible. The term "you only live once" was meant to push you outside of your comfort zone and challenge you, but it was never intended to push you into debt. Most people waste money on UC. I want UC to become a part of your vernacular. UC stands for useless crap. You see, therefore you buy, you see. Let me repeat that one more time. You see, therefore you buy, you see. Get it? Get it. Listen, people complain about the weather. We can't do anything about that. People always complain saying, if I had more money, all my problems would go away. That's not true. I know a lot of executives, a lot of professionals who make a lot of money, yet they have no savings. According to Forbes, 48% of all Americans earning over $100,000 are living paycheck to paycheck.
I'm only burning my half. All you care about is money.
Number one, guys, I'm going after your coffee. You might not like it for me, but I got to do what's right for you. Look, during COVID, I was under the impression people would get in the habit of making their morning brew at home. And then that habit would carry forward as soon as the world opened up. But man, was I wrong. I know this one dude, he works from home 5 days a week, yet he makes multiple trips a day to Tim Hortons. Listen, I'm sure Tim Hortons coffee is amazing, and I'm sure it's better than his blend that he makes at home. But, however, he did not have enough money to file his 2023 taxes. We are now in the fall of 2024. And by the way, not filing your taxes is a federal offense. So we have to stop living this privileged life. We have to put our priorities where our priorities should be. Now, let's do some quick math here, okay? Let's just say the average cup is $3.25. Let's just say he makes 1.5 trips a day. Now, I said he makes multiple trips a day, but I'll be very conservative. On top of that, let's just say he does it for 365 days. So, $3.25 times 1.5 trips a day times 365 days is equal to $1,779. You divide that by 12, you get $148.28. The S&P 500 over the past 40 years has given us an average return of 10%. If you take that 148, invest it in the S&P 500 over 45 years, this individual will have $1.55 million sitting in his saving account. So his coffee habit is costing him $1.55 million. I mean, just let's put that in perspective. Number two, I'm going to sound like your mother, but listen, what she said was right. Go out there and get some exercise. I'm coming after your OTT subscriptions, your Netflix, your Prime, your cable TV, any other UC OTT subscription you have. We're going to attack those. I need you to trim $20 off of that digital bill. Now, it can be your Spotify. It can be UC apps on your phone. It can be your super duper high speed internet. Stop making excuses. Trim that bill by $20. $20 invested in an ETF with an average return of 10% will leave you after 45 years with $209,000. So guys, start putting those $20 away every single month. And I know you can do it. Number three, listen, I'm not creative enough to make this stuff up. My neighbor comes home after 30 minutes, he disappears, then comes back again after 2 hours. He leaves after an hour, he comes back, and so on and so forth. I'm not stalking the guy, but when I'm out there mowing my lawn, shoveling my driveway, or doing some gardening, this is what I see on a very frequent basis. And if he's doing it, I'm assuming other people are also doing it. So for those of you who have this type of lifestyle, I need you to trim $50 per month off your gas bill. And here's some tips. Number one, pre-plan your trips. Do not zigzag. Map it out so that you're the most efficient route is being taken. Number two, when you go to the drive-through, I see 20 cars lined up. Okay? Even if one car stays there for 1 minute, that's 20 minutes. Park your car, go inside, it's empty, grab your stuff and come out. You saved yourself from 20 minutes of idling. Number three, buy a bicycle. It's a one-time purchase and then it's free. Plus you get exercise. So who says you can't have your salad and eat it too? All right, now $50 saved in an S&P 500 over 45 years at 10% is $524,000. Your driving habits are costing you over $500,000. Number four, as per the website Made in CA, roughly 105 kilograms of food is wasted per household every year in North America and Europe. Now, let's just say 1 kilo is roughly $7, which also includes the cost to prepare the food, the energy used, and then the energy to store the food, the water used in the preparation, the water used in cleaning, and so on and so forth. Let's go with $7. $7 times 105 kilos, right? Divided by 12 comes up to $61.25 a month. Now, $61.25 a month invested each month in an ETF at 10% over 45 years will give you $642,000. Okay? This is what your wastage is costing you. Now, what can you do to help save this money? So here are some tips. Number one, go through your pantries, go through your fridge, see what's about to expire. Eat those items first. Number two, cook in smaller portions so that you don't have a lot of leftovers. Number three, make a grocery list. Stick to it. Pre-plan your meals. Avoid the junk food aisle. It's got nothing but UC. Number five, during COVID, when my wife and we started working from home, we came to the realization that we did not need two cars because we were at home, the cars were sitting idle, and it was costing us roughly $1,000 per car per month. So that was a lot of money. So therefore, what I did was I got rid of one car. That saved us $12,000 a year. Okay. And then in times where we do have to overlap, I have a client visit, my wife has to go to work, we take an Uber. The cost of taking the Uber is far less than the $1,000 of fixed expense that we had every month. Okay. So if you're in a similar situation where you have two cars, right, and you're working from home 1, 2, 3, 4 days a week, do the analysis. Would it be cheaper for you to take an Uber instead of paying for a car that sits on your driveway most of the time? Do you really need two cars or three cars? Can you bring it down, right? And this can save you thousands of dollars per year. In my case, it saved me $12,000. So do that analysis. And if you have one car in the family and you're both working from home, do you really need that one car? I know there's one family who actually ended up buying a scooter. So in the summertime, when they go do their groceries, he goes on his scooter. He lives alone. He has a scooter. He has his backpack and he puts his food in there. And what some people are also doing is getting their food delivered to their home. It's cheaper to do that than to drive, than having the car, right? Because that's really the heaviest thing that you have to transport is your groceries. You can have that delivered. So do the math, get creative. Your car eats up a lot of your wealth and you might not even need that car. Now for a vacation, if you don't have a car, rent a car. Renting a car for a week might cost you $1,000 or so, or $1,500. It's still a lot cheaper than that $12,000 you might be spending per year. So once again, guys, sit down, do the analysis. And remember, it all starts with a simple conversation.